Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Soapstone. Please send a warm and confetti-filled welcome to your hosts, Lolly D and Trainer Cal.
She followed me out. Where'd she go? Oh, there you are. I thought you were gonna trail me this time.
I was letting you make your grand entrance. I was letting you make your grand entrance. Yeah, I know you like to do it.
I'm very good at that. Yeah.
I know you're.
If I
had
legs, you would all be wowed. That's all I'm gonna say. Wowed to the point that I'm that disappointing with my dancing. You'd be like, "Wow, get this guy an Uber. This guy needs to go."
Honestly, I've put your name in for Meta's Got Talent because
I know. Well, one thing I am good at, and none of you can tell me I'm not, is tap dancing. So prove me wrong, huh? Very good at tap dancing. Can't prove that. I'm fantastic at it.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You can't hear us, Sturm? Are we muted, Elma, or is Sturm just?
No,
off?
I meant I can't hear Trainer tap dancing.
Oh, you can't hear him tap dancing.
See, that's the beauty of it, right? No one, the people like to hear the taps, right? But I like silent tap dancing. I'll do it in my slippers. And these slippers are very
special
soft
talent.
cushions. It's a special talent. Now, I don't see anyone going on America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent tap dancing in slippers.
Well, I don't see anybody on there without legs, like from the waist down missing either. So there's that.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Okay.
There's a first for something. That's all I'm going to say.
Speaking of America's Got Talent, wasn't it Michael Winfield, one of the comedians that was here on Dry Bar?
Right?
Yeah, he got the golden buzzer. So if you guys watch American Got Talent, he saw him, right? That's kind of cool. Yeah. So that's neat. He's a friend of the Soapstone, right? He's one of our buddies.
He is.
So yeah, it's all good.
Funny guy.
It's all good.
Well.
Yeah. Hey, today we got a good show, and we're not going to spend a lot of time, even though we're so funny, right, Cal? But we can't spend a lot of time today.
We're hilarious,
right? Yeah, we're just hilarious in our own minds. But anyway, today we do have a full stage, and we want to get these guys up here to start talking because we think this is an important subject. All kidding aside, we like to talk about all the fun things there are to do in Horizons, and there are tons of fun, like the Bourne Carnival. If you guys haven't been there yet, my God, that's so fun.
That's amazing.
Get shot out of the cannon. Was that wasn't that fun? I had a blast in there. It feels like a real carnival. I mean, come on. And I also want to give a shout out, just my own personal.
Shot out the cannon.
Is it great?
She doesn't know
fly it across
funny. She doesn't know.
No pun
she just
intended.
says funny things. Yeah.
Are you making fun of me?
No. You said you had a blast being shot out of a cannon.
Oh.
I just don't think you realized how funny that was.
Okay.
I would say she shot away, but that I need the didn't. I'll make my
Elma's busy. Elma's busy talking. Elma's busy talking. It's okay, Elma. We're just, we're good. We're good. Don't worry about it. We're good. Yeah. Anyway, so the Bourne Carnival is super fun. And also, if you guys haven't seen Danny Los Angeles's Disneyland, I live like 5 miles from Disneyland, and I'm telling you, when you walk in there, it feels like Disneyland. It's good. It's really good. And now he's added rides to it. It's awesome. What?
Now we've all got 2 hands, so I want to get a count of hands quickly. How many people here have been kicked out of Disneyland? Put your hands up.
I didn't get kicked out of Disneyland. That was Universal. Thank you very much.
Okay, who here has been kicked out of Universal Studios?
Okay. That was not my fault. It was not my fault. Okay, we'll talk about that another day. Anyway, that world is really good, and there's some fun rides in there. The Jungle Cruise and the Indiana Jones, and he's adding more. I love to say this is a person who spends a lot of time.
Isn't there? In
so
here
cool. So anyway, shout out to him. Yeah, I really like that world. But anyway, back to the serious stuff we're talking about today. We are glad that it isn't just all fun and games in here. I'm really glad for some of these great things that are coming about. And I don't know if you had a chance to go, but Sturm and I were touring the worlds, and I learned some stuff medical stuff that I didn't know. So that's what we're talking about today, some medical resources. And I think this is awesome that we have this. So can you guys welcome to the stage? We got a few people to bring up because this is a big subject today. Naviculara, can you join us? Doctor, please, up on the stage. She is our guest today, along with our, hi, sweetie, how are you? Good to see you. Naviculara is a podiatrist, and she's going to be sharing a lot about the different worlds that she's involved with and how it affects us. But also Oculos, if you don't mind coming up, he's been working heavily with her on this. So we asked him to please be here. And we also have a producer. You know, we are so blessed in our producer group to have a variety of talents, you know. We have a special producer here, Dawn 333. She's actually a nurse. So we love to have her come and be part of this. Yeah, all the way from the coffee bar back there, where she's so happy to serve everybody for all the shows. But Dawn, come on up too. So welcome, everybody.
Dawn, are we in good status with pumpkin spice? That's the first thing I need to know. Before I need
made a big batch last night. Yeah, we're all good for the day.
She's exclusively in charge of the pumpkin spice. So if you notice we're low, please let Dawn know. She takes care of ordering that.
Blood pressure's gone down after hearing that. We're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
We can relax. Everybody can relax now. So welcome, you guys. I don't know who wants to start talking first, but I'm assuming Naviculara, you'll probably be the one to lead it and tell them a little bit about what you want to accomplish here in the metaverse with what you're doing. And I know it's kind of a complex discussion because there's a lot of worlds all tangled together. So we'll try to make it as simple as possible for people like me that's hard to follow. But go ahead. You tell us about it.
Yeah. So first off, thank you. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Trainer Cal and Lolly D, for having us here at Good Morning Soapstone. It's great to be able to get out here and talk about things that we're super passionate about, and also really an honor to share the stage with these two people here. I'm looking forward to, having their voices, to lend their voices to the importance of what it is that we're working on and talk about their own perspectives. I can sort of trace this back to last Christmas when my 13-year-old son at the time got an Oculus headset. I put it on to get it set up for him, and I saw the trailer for Horizon Worlds. And at that moment, it really dawned on me. I thought, oh my gosh, what if I could use this platform to show people what it is that I'm trying to tell them? So I've been in private practice for almost 20 years. I'm a podiatrist, and I'm always trying to explain medical things to people. I'm trying to show x-rays. I'm trying to explain, okay, this is why it's happening. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've got a plastic foot model. I've got a brochure, and those just really aren't working. And I started asking people, talking to people, and it turns out it's a pretty universal experience. So what we're working on, the name we've created, it's called House Call VR. If you look, you'll see our worlds. We have a variety of different worlds. We are using Horizon Worlds as our sandbox, like reaching out to as many people as we can. We have several different things. We have an auditorium, where this is where Oculus really comes in, where we've hosted the first public medical lectures in the metaverse.
Nice.
And that includes, it's been really exciting, especially like to do it publicly, because for me, I'm so passionate about getting good quality information using immersive technology to as many people as possible. So for example, one of our lectures was a foot and ankle surgeon was doing a lecture from inside of the ankle. And that's like really where we see the technology going. So that's one piece. We also have provider worlds. So you go, I think we have 7 at this point now. We just debuted. We have a dentist, a urogynecologist. We have a naturopathic physician. All of these people, these practices are using these spaces.
I'm having my
like
hand rolled
virtual
for tea.
websites. Also really exciting, we've just brought in the AMXRA, which is the American Medical Extended Reality Association. So the point of all of this is that we want to reach as many people as healthcare providers using this immersive technology, using the next generation of the internet to get as much information to people to be better than a brochure.
Yes. Yes, and it is. I mean, I was looking at the foot model and it was explaining your plantar fasciitis and the Achilles tendon and the connection and all that. That was great for me. I could walk all around the model and look at it. So, yeah, that really is helpful to be able to
I
see all
stretch
that.
every morning now since she told me about plantar fasciitis. Every morning I stretch that just to be sure.
Has anybody
to be
ever had
sure.
plantar fasciitis? Because I'll tell you, this is what happens to you. One day, at least for this, what happened to me. You're just laying in bed watching TV, and all of a sudden you go, "Ow, ow, my foot hurts. Why does my foot hurt?" And then for 3.5 months, I couldn't walk hardly, and then poof, it disappeared. That's how it was for
Wow.
me. But that's what it was, and that was so crazy. You did the ice
Wow.
bottle on the floor and all that stuff, but it's a crazy
Yeah.
condition, isn't it? It's kind of a weird one. But anyway,
Well, and it's
I'm just-
actually really no. I'm glad that you said that because that's actually kind of one of the inspirations is that for plantar fasciitis, your pain is underneath your foot, but the problem is actually in the back of your leg. And I'm always trying to explain this to people. And I thought, well, what if I had a 3-dimensional model where people could walk in and see this, right? Like to use, like, what if I built that? And I have to just do a quick shout out for E.M. Halsey, who's here in the audience today. E.M. Halsey is a creator of our anatomic models. She is a physician assistant and an absolute master when it comes to building anatomic models. So just wanted to
nice.
give
Yeah,
her a
those
quick
did
shout
look
out.
good in there. Yeah,
They're
great.
amazing. They're amazing.
Yes. Awesome. So how many people do you guys have involved in this project? Like how many different doctors do you have involved at this point?
At this point, we have six providers, not including myself, and a seventh who is our dermatologist. So it's 7 at the time. You can go visit all of the spaces, and actually, we're just in the process of sort of working together to organize a world hop here in Horizon. And using, like really getting together. And I'm very excited to say very soon, we're going to be dropping a new auditorium. And I'm really, really excited to say that it is being built by none other than the amazing and fabulous Rex Rod. So
Yes,
we're
Rex
so
Rod. Give it a
excited.
shout out to Rex Rod. If you guys
That's gonna
see
be
people
impressive.
recognize Rex Rod. If you guys haven't seen his meta home and the beach, oh my god. And Mellow Mountain and all of those are fabulous
Oh.
worlds.
Skylark's
Great worlds.
apartments.
Fabulous,
It's incredible.
Yeah, his
Skybox
apartment
is
too. Yes.
amazing. Yeah. Wow.
Mhm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, so congrats on nailing him down. That's awesome. Terrific.
He's amazing. He's amazing. And it just goes to the amazing community of creators here in Horizon. And I mean, I sit next to a giant in the community here. Oculus410 is really and Dawn. I mean, really
She wasn't talking about you, Cal. I'm sorry, go ahead.
He's massive. He's a giant. Super tall.
He is a giant. Okay. But we love you. We love you, Cal. We love you.
I'm the giant.
Can I
You're
sit next to
giant
the
today.
giant?
All right. Yeah. All right.
But no, in all seriousness, none of this is possible by one person, right? Any
Right.
of this. And so the community of people here in Horizon that is not just creating, but creating community, creating value and amplifying that. And really, our work with Oculus410, I mean, he's been a champion of ours since the very beginning and just I mean, I'm always telling him how appreciative I am of all of his work, but it's really an honor for me to be able to say it publicly and in front of everybody and to thank him.
Yeah.
The unlicensed
he's definitely
therapist of the group, right?
You keep us all together, that's for sure. When there's issues, and you just keep it all together.
No, it's crazy because when we first met, it was introduction through Lakes. Somebody had connected her with Lakes to kind of go through the hub and through the first world to kind of give some feedback. And so Lakes was in the middle of like 100 different things at the time and getting video verification off the ground and all these projects. And so he said, "Hey, I'll be back." And then he left and I continued on the conversation. And as nicely as I could, I tried to share with her like some of the building like foundation, like building blocks of how to get started in building, Z-ripping, and your space being, too large to where people can't find each other. And she was so receptive. She literally was like, hold on. And she's got a notebook. She's writing all of this down as I'm talking for like that.
I'm not going to
I think we
waste
were
that
together for like an hour and a
information.
half.
It was a
So
long
I come
time. It
back,
was awesome.
and I come back and she's like, check out my new auditorium. And I was just blown away from all the changes that she took. Like literally everything she wrote down, she was dead set on making sure she had those improvements together for the new hub. But it was amazing because you could take these steps, which felt like you could climb to heaven and then pass it and check out the next floor, the upstairs. Like it was just this huge pillar in the hub. And I was like, it's great visually, but you're not going to have anybody take that trip and be able to find anybody else in the world. And she was just like, nope, okay, keep going, keep going. And she was so gracious to listen to all my suggestions.
Well, there's nothing better than having somebody who's been here since the beginning, who watched, what worked and didn't work. And we all know Oculos is more than willing to help everybody. He's helped most of us in here too. So we're very appreciative of him and his support for all of our community. So of course, Oculus, thank you. We love you in here. And you couldn't have picked a better person to help you guide you through those steps. And kudos to you for realizing that, because a lot of people are always like, yeah, whatever. No, he does know. He definitely does know. So great.
Wow. Yeah. So you got no pun intended. You got your foot in the door. You got here into Horizon Worlds.
You totally intended that pun.
He was holding that for last.
He's been working on that. Yeah, he's been working on that one.
I have nothing else to say after that. So back to you got your foot in the door, right? You're here. You've made a step into Horizon. Anyone out there want to hire me? You can.
Are there reverse applause credits? And you did
that. Put your socks and shoes on.
Reverse.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible.
Stop before you put it in your mouth.
So Naviculara, maybe walk us through what somebody like us, we would go there, we would go to the world and we would be looking for a particular subject, or do we just go there looking for events? What are we doing when we go to those worlds?
So that's a great question. I mean, the first thing I want to say is what you're not going to be able to do. This isn't you're not going to be able to see a doctor yet.
Oh, right? I can't tell you to look at my toes.
We are. Right. Well, hard to do. This is a public platform, and right now we're using this as a great way for people to. Oh, I'm drifting.
Yeah.
Sorry. A great way for people to connect with information. So that's generally what you're going to be able to do right now. We're creating every month or so. We have a lecture in our new to be auditorium. That's another great thing. We also have some fun games. We have actually probably our most fun game, or our most celebrated game is called Decay Squad. It's actually really great. We developed it with a dentist, with our dentist, Dr. Sonda Moldovan. She's with Beverly Hills Natural Dentistry, and she has a space, and you can actually be the bad bacteria in the mouth. And the more candy you eat, the more the teeth fall out. And it's just a really fun way to to talk about dental hygiene in a way that's never really been done before. And that's what's so great about this platform, is that we can actually put people inside of the experience. I mean, I've heard it said, not just about this medium, the social medium, but virtual reality in general, is that it's an empathy machine, right? You can really be within something that you've never been within. And it allows you to really see something from a completely new perspective, which as healthcare providers, and I'm sure Dawn can speak to this, we're always trying to educate people. These are the important things. So much of what happens in our health is preventable. And it's so hard to see things that are wholly preventable be not necessarily be understood. And so using this platform to circle back, that's what people can do. People can also meet and greet with our healthcare providers and have open discussions, having a conversation about general things like plantar fasciitis, or about if they have general questions. One of our providers, Dr. Betsy Greenleaf, is the first female the first woman in the United States board certified in urogynecology. So this is something like she has an incredible wealth of knowledge around women's health, and people can go into her Q&As and have an open Q&A with her and ask her questions that might be difficult to ask in another way.
And you're right. Like I went in there and there's in that particular world and there was a big board that talks about hormone deficiencies and stuff and what to look for. And I know you can find this stuff if you go Googling it and stuff, but boy, it was so easy to just walk in and go, oh, the bullet points. And that was really easy to go, okay, does that apply to me? I know if that applies to me or not. So yeah, you're right. And that dental game was fun. Sturm and I played that game. We had a good time. Yeah, that was fun. We also did what was the one we were doing with skin cancer, right?
Yeah.
Dodging
really fun
the
one.
sun. We were dodging the sun and hitting the sunscreen for points. Huh.
And the foot fungus one as well.
Oh yeah, foot fungus. You get to clean the toenails.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yes,
do that too.
Yeah, I had to do some more shout outs there. Ashes to Ashes and Pigeon Number 12 were the creators that were part of that. So, just going back to that community here within Horizon about, all the people working together and all the amazing talent. And Tanzer VR, right? Doing.
Hey, and fun fact, toenail fungus is not dangerous. I didn't know that. That's what it says. It could be a symptom of something, but in it itself is not dangerous. So, just put some clear polish over it and go with that turquoise blue color. There you go. Just saying.
Medical advice.
No, it's not medical advice.
I will take your advice.
That's Lolly's beauty tips. Save on the pedicure.
Without toes. Without toes.
All right, Alma. That woman is relentless. All right.
Okay. One thing I do want to say, though, about the live streams from the doctors that we've had giving these lectures and these speeches, the audience that participates in the comments, it's incredible the amount of participation we see. And the questions, they're things that people have just been wanting to ask, but it's kind of like tough for people to just go to their doctor and say, hey, by the way, I'm having an issue. It's not an urgent issue, but this is a question I have. And so this forum is opening up people to have these conversations. And it's just incredible to see.
You can go ask about that boil. That anyway.
It's private.
Yeah.
Oh, you were saying in general. Right. Sorry.
Yeah. right. Generally.
Just in general. Just in general. Generally, yes. Cool.
And the really exciting thing is that we're using all of the things that we're learning here in Horizon about using immersive technology, and House Call VR is in the process of developing our own standalone application where we're developing a solution where you go to your doctor and instead of just having general information or brochure or no information at all, and because there's just the average doctor's visit in the US is 15 minutes and you cover 6 topics. It's just not enough time. People don't have time to ask all the questions, and the doctors don't.
And
that's
if you're lucky to get an appointment. Like in the UK, Stelma vouched for me here. To get a doctor's appointment is very hard. I came down last week with pneumonia, and to get a doctor's appointment, I was in the queue with 50 plus people. It didn't specify a number. It said you're in a queue with 50 plus. And that's my small doctor surgery in my district. So they only have a handful of appointments for the 6-7 doctors that are there. And then they told me, call back in the afternoon. If you're lucky, you might get an appointment. It's like, wow, really? So, this is giving more people more of an opportunity to speak to someone who's medically trained in an environment where they feel comfortable speaking to somebody that's not necessarily face to face. So it saves an embarrassing question, when you are face to face. I know I've been there, it's been horrible, but I think this is a great start. This is going to really open the doors to a lot of good things for you guys, and I'm excited. And hopefully in the UK you're gonna accommodate us too, right? But
absolutely. I mean, that's our plan, is to start here with general medical advice, move to our own standalone application where, let's say if you go to the doctor and you have pneumonia, instead of just getting a prescription, maybe you have a prescription and a VR headset and a VR experience that tells you about pneumonia. And the next step of that, of course, is that you would be able to potentially see your doctor actually in virtual reality. And that's where we all want it to go, right? To be able to open access so that people have more literacy, more understanding, and more access. And
That would be
that's
perfect
really
for
where,
disabled people as well.
we're incredible.
It would.
That
Yeah.
Sturm,
Right.
that's such a great thing to say. Is absolutely true. It really, and we saw that, right? Like we've seen the explosion of telemedicine and just how wonderful it is and how great it is for people who maybe have transportation issues. I mean, I see that in my clinic, right? I see all kinds of patients. We take every single insurance because I firmly believe that everyone deserves care. And I will say that I have many people who really struggle with transportation just to come see me for, for problems or for routine issues. And that's heartbreaking. So anything that we can do to increase literacy, so like understanding of health, and then eventually access is where we're working on.
I love that.
Yes. Yeah, because how many people do we know? And I mean, I'm not. There's a lot of people who you'll say, "So what happened when you're to the doctor? So why do you have that?" They don't know. They just know that they got the drug to treat the symptom. They have no idea what it really means or what they could be doing to stop it. Doesn't mean the doctor didn't offer that, but it just means that maybe they were too nervous and don't remember. Maybe they just didn't think to ask the right questions. But having the time to think it through and be able to go back and stuff like that. I think that really is helpful. And when you know the cause and the root, then you can change some things to actually stop the problem as opposed to just treating the symptom. So I'm a big proponent of that. Like, let's what's the cause? Why? I always want to know why. Yeah. So I think that's really helpful.
Many people do, right? Like how can now in the information age, people oftentimes, when they don't get all the answers from their doctor or when they think of a question afterwards, right? Like you go home and you're on the internet or you call your friends or whatever, and you may not have that information. Now imagine an immersive experience, right? Imagine your doctor gives you an immersive experience about that pneumonia or whatever it is that's going on. Not only can you have that experience in the clinic, but then you actually can have it again at home. And then maybe you have your brother with you, right? Like, and they can see it and they can see and hear something that maybe you weren't able to see and hear. So it's just a completely new way. And listen, it's not just me working in this space. And that's why we're so excited to have the American Medical Extended Reality Association to be a part. That's a professional organization that's being created. These are academics that are working on amazing potential of immersive technology, all the way from simulation and training to actual direct therapies. I don't know if you know, but there's virtual reality FDA approved treatment for chronic pain, for PTSD. I mean, there's just like an amazing world out there. And the AMXRA, especially being here in Horizon Worlds, having them be a part of what it is that we're working on and be a portal to the public is just, it's astounding. We're so incredibly excited.
Yeah. I would think too.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say now AMXRA. I haven't had a chance to dive into that, but Dawn, that's how you got introduced to House Call, I guess. Is that right?
Actually, I think probably about 6 or 7 months ago, Pigeon, who's a dear friend, mentioned the House Call, probably when she was working directly with, and I had kind of expressed some interest in using my profession and VR in my real life, and anyway, she kind of led me to Naviculara, and I messaged her, and kind of didn't really jump on anything yet, and had always meant to. Was just busy in my work life and home life, and finally made the step just a little bit before the AMXRA kind of came on the scene. So it was kind of perfect timing, and I was really glad I made the step to be involved. I'd been pretty much trying to do something like that in here for the entire year that I've been here. So I'm glad I did. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Awesome.
maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but you get to see it firsthand as a nurse, all of the things that come through those doors to where maybe they only see the aftercare or the consultation of something, like preventative maintenance or, whatever preventative care, but you see it firsthand every single day. And I'm so like interested to hear, like, is there anything that you are hoping to like apply from your daily job to what House Call's doing to kind of continue to grow what they're doing?
Yeah, I'm very interested in the patient education aspect of it. I think that's an area that we're really weak in our healthcare system right now. I think, like as it was discussed, we really do cram a lot of patients into one day. Doctors are pressured to, be quick and see a certain number of patients a day in the clinic, and even in the ER, or labor and delivery, which are both my specialties. It's patient education is such a huge aspect of helping people be successful with their health care and be their own, advocate for their own care. They need to understand what's going on to do that. And so I'm very excited. And I'm also in my profession a community healthcare educator. So we do classes and seminars at our hospital, and there's a handful of us nurses that lead that. Anywhere from childbirth classes to specific ailments or trauma-centered care, various different subjects. So,
Wow.
we educate also some professions too. So I'm very excited about being involved in bringing health education to VR, but I'm also very excited about what VR can do for people. Like Naviculara mentioned, chronic pain, some mental health disorders and stuff are finding a lot of improvement with VR. People who are shut in and live in remote places or have physical disabilities are finding it a way to be social again, and I think that's always good for somebody's mental health. So
it's great. That's absolutely great. Do you guys think you have time for questions? Do we answer some questions from people out here? Because I'm sure people have some questions. Term, I know you have a question.
So I want to ask a question. What has been your biggest in the metaverse, and how have you overcome that?
This would go to me. I have to say the biggest challenge has been that it's because it's such a big space is finding one way, right? Like there's so many amazing possibilities, right? Like when Dawn, and I'm sure you can speak to this as well, is, especially in our profession in healthcare, we see the challenges. We're the boots on the ground, right? Like we see all the ways where in healthcare, in the healthcare system, in healthcare, and all of this, there's all of these issues. And so when looking at something like the metaverse, like immersive technology, in particular, like social immersive technology like this, it's finding that niche, right? Like finding the best way, like where can I bring the most value? Where can I do something that really could have the biggest impact and have a reach in a positive way. So I would say that's the biggest challenge. And honestly, I have to speak about our, how Horizon Worlds has been able to help us find that, right? Like been able to test, what do people find interesting? What do people see as a solution? I mean, like how is this compelling? How can we make this important? How can we really make a difference and leverage this technology, not just for gaming, which is an amazing thing, right? Like, but how can we do something beyond and like be really specific in what works and what doesn't work? So that would be my answer to Sturm.
Amazing.
Great. Yeah,
Thank you,
great
Sturm.
answer. Thank you. That was good. Thanks, Sturm.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody else have a question? Let's ask the questions. We got anything we need to know here? I know these guys are really thorough and covered lots for us, but does anyone else have a question? No? No questions? Okay. All right.
Lolly,
If you
can
think
I
of
just
it,
say
come
something?
up.
I wanted to
Go ahead.
mention something that Dawn had talked about the potential for virtual reality to help people with mental health and overcome isolation. I wanted to just call out another person who's here in the audience, which is Rob Signer, who has
Yes.
started the Thrive community, which is a senior community, and he is so incredibly passionate about using virtual reality to help seniors overcome social isolation. So I really just wanted to take the chance to call him out as well and just talk about
And
like
by
the
the
amazing
way,
work that he's doing at Thrive.
and thank you for saying that, Naviculara, because by the way, Throb. Oh God, never mind. Thrive Rob is going, just X that one, is going to be our guest next week, unless of course he becomes a grandfather before then. But so far we got him scheduled for next week, so we'll be talking about all of that next week. So yes, and he is doing some great things. Yeah, that's a whole nother subject, seniors in here. You know, we all know a senior that could benefit from being involved here, accessing your worlds, you know, accessing all of that information for sure. I have a friend who is an older person who, you know, she's supposed to go to the doctor a lot, and oh, I didn't go today because there wasn't anyone to help me, or I didn't go today because I'm just too tired, or whatever the reason, you know, so she's not getting to the doctor when she's supposed to. So, you know, just this whole environment here, I think is so good for some seniors. I think it would be great for them too. So
Awesome.
yes, we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. Did we forget anything, Oculus? Is there anything we're not covering here right now? I'm asking you. You're our resident expert.
No. I mean, I just really support everything that Naviculara is doing with House Call VR. Everybody involved in all of these projects, how much it's grown over the last year, and I'm just really grateful to have met you and have the honor to be a part of it. So, and it's so great to see Dawn join the team and so many others that are getting interested in medical metaverse. That's the hashtag you're trying to start. So, medical metaverse is going to be something that people are going to undeniably want when we move to that next stage of you know, telehealth, moving away from flat screens and phone calls to being in VR. So that's where I'm excited for it to be.
Me too. Me too. Dawn, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
You know, I'm just really excited to see where it goes. I'd love to see the ability for patients to come and get further education, to find ways to combat like social isolation and mental health issues. I'm excited to see where the technology goes. We were talking about this last night. I would love to see the ability to, you know, have a PowerPoint here in Horizon and not have to go to workrooms. I would love for the ability to be able to show a video. There's lots of educational videos that would be amazing during presentations, you know, that teach people about health that you can't really do as well with primitives, or you know, building tools and stuff, which are amazing, but video sometimes is such a great, you know, way to teach people, and it'd be wonderful to bring that in here. And you know, just to be able to see more headsets in homes, you know, for people, for all the reasons that we mentioned. So
what were the stats, Oculus? What were the stats, Oculus, on how many headsets got sold for Christmas? I think I saw that on your page or somebody's page. Just an incredible amount of headsets that got sold for Christmas. I was blown away by the number. I can't remember what it is now.
So
was it in the millions?
Well, the problem is that it's how many shipped. It's not how many sold. So this was sent out to like Best Buy and all these other places, but it was 10 million like in 2021. So I don't even know how many it was as of this past Christmas.
Yeah, it was
I think
a lot.
There was a stat, wasn't there? There was around 2 million downloads of Horizon or something.
Right.
Something. Yeah. Maybe that's what it was that I saw. I thought, wow, I was impressed by that number. So they're coming. And we know, even from the Soapstone, we have, you know, over the Christmas holiday, every third person told me they were brand new. So saw a lot of influx. A lot of influx in here. Lots of kids. We all know there were lots of kids, but that's settling in. We're all getting that. We're all getting that hammered down.
Mama
Listen,
Bree
you guys,
says you're doing amazing things and can't wait to see what is on the horizon for you with the red heart. So I think that goes to all of you.
Nice. Naviculara, is there an event that you can point us to that these guys might want to be part of that's coming up soon? Anything you can point us to?
Yeah. We have a couple of things coming up soon. So we are in the process of nailing down the final date for our next lecture. So look out for that. There'll also be our world drop with our new Rexrod created auditorium, which we're incredibly
Nice.
excited about. That's coming up sometime in February. The next event that we'll be having that's already scheduled is the weekly meet and greet in the AMXRA. And that's actually a wonderful place to go in and meet the founder of the AMXRA, Dr. Mark Zhang, and talk to him about, what he sees as the future of medical extended reality. And that's, those are kind of two things that are coming up. But definitely, if you're interested, follow our Facebook page. And that's where we make all of our announcements. We're on LinkedIn as well, and Instagram too.
Follow. Oh,
Very
it's not
nice.
House Call there. Sorry. House Call VR. Follow. follow.
Yes, okay.
Yes, please. And go visit
Cal?
Decay Squad, everybody who hasn't had a chance to go play the game. It is actually, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that
And
is fun.
I think Oculos is back to
I need
being
to
the high
get in there
scorer.
again.
And,
No, not yet.
we can't have that happen. We cannot have Oculus be the high scorer.
Or you can shoot some
Hopefully
foot
there's
fungus with a
somebody out there
bazooka.
who will challenge.
You
That's
can do
right.
what?
And you can shoot a foot fungus with a bazooka in our podiatry world, and fight. Stay away from skin cancer. And
Yes, we saw all that. That was great. That was a fun day. We traveled around to all of them. We had a good time.
Awesome.
Do you have any closing questions or comments, Trainer?
Yeah, I've got a problem with my foot. No, I'm super impressed with what your plans are, short term, long term goals, and what you've achieved so far. I think it's phenomenal. Like you're really connecting the outside world in the correct way of this metaverse that we're all trying so hard to make streamline everywhere, and to just make sure that everyone has that brilliant immersive experience from seeing a doctor to seeing your friends, going to a comedy club, going to play games, to who knows what's next. We can go shopping soon in here, right? I can walk around Walmart, pick things up, put it in a trolley, and next thing I know, it's at my door. Who knows? Who knows, right? That's something I've made up, trademarking that in a minute. But no, I absolutely love it, and I'm so excited. It is. It really is. Yeah.
You think about it, all the people that have come up on this stage that normally would not literally jump on stage and tell jokes or sing or tap dance in slippers literally has opened up people's abilities in the metaverse. And imagine applying that to your health. And as Dawn said, the education part, a little more comfortable of a space where it's not as intimidating, but you still have a one-on-one connection. And this is the greatest place to start.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No,
Yeah.
I totally agree. Because a lot of times you go in and you even sometimes you feel too, like I'm asking too dumb of a question. I don't want to ask my doctor this question. And like I said, when I was walking around in there, I saw answers to some of the questions I had that I was like, all right, that makes sense to me. I love seeing how the human body works too. If people would only take the time to see how it actually works, it makes you understand so much more about, so when I eat that, this is what's happening. So we start to figure these things out, and it's really helpful, I think, to be
that lecture
at least
too.
informed. Yeah, about what we eat.
That's the way, and that's what we hope, right? That's when people ask me, what's your hope with all of this?
Yeah.
I have to say my biggest hope is that somewhere in the future, some family who might be potentially dealing with even a catastrophic diagnosis, that they can have an experience that educates them on what is happening and what the course is, and so that takes that piece out of the puzzle. So no family has to scramble and say, what is this mean, how is this going to impact us, and get right to the business of getting better and supporting their family, their loved ones, themselves, and their health.
Yes, makes sense. So much sense. Well, we're so grateful and can't wait to see everything that comes out of all of this. This is just the beginning, right? It's already amazing, but it's just the beginning. It's the roots, and who knows where it's going to go from here. So that's all amazing stuff. And thank you so much for sharing all that with us. We'll give you one more chance. Anybody got anything they want to add or ask? No, we're all good out there. All right, then. Well, thank all of you for being here. We appreciate you guys so much. Taking out your time of your day. Thank you. Thank you. And you guys go over there and check those worlds out. They're
Maybe we should drop a portal outside to one of our worlds. What do you think?
You can do that, Sturm. That would be absolutely great. Yep. Thank you, everybody. Yay. Thank you so much. Everyone. Don't forget next week we got Rob there from Thrive. That'll be fun. Okay.